I suppose the big thing in terms of the JGBs that everyone would have to worry about if they do decide to abolish the YCC is the impact that would have globally across yield curves. Because I would imagine that if they were to surprise today, and I suppose it's a little bit of a hypothetical exercise, what do you think that would mean in terms of the repricing of curves across the world?
Well, it's interesting that I think this is something that a lot of the speculators in markets are already positioned for. I think if you look across, options markets, whether it be for yen rates or whether it be for the FX, the more sort of agile and faster moving money in the world is definitely positioned for at some point they're going to have to let go of YCC. And as a result, yields should explode. Now, your question was about, what are the implications for global yields? And I think that it's undoubtedly going to cause some short-term turbulence. But I think the longer-term impact on global yields will be relatively muted. You can't prove one way or another whether, the Japanese holdings of foreign assets, including foreign bonds, US bonds, Australian bonds, for us, do or don't matter. But in the grand scheme of things, they hold a lot as foreign holders, but as a share of the total pie, it's still relatively little.
But Amy, isn't the market very underpositioned? I mean, if you look at the volatility of the dollar yen, or if you look at the positioning where obviously the 10-year short selling has been made more expensive, it seems like people have already covered their shorts and gotten out of the market. So while they're expecting Governor Ueda to drop hints, it's not like the market is actively preparing itself for a policy shift.
Yeah, and I think it's difficult to prepare yourself and go all in for this one meeting, right? Especially because Ueda has shown himself to be a very measured policymaker. It's not his first time at the BOJ. He definitely likes to take all pieces of information into consideration. He doesn't like shock and awe. He's definitely not into sensationalism and building a large profile as a central banker. So taking all of that into account, it is very hard to put all your eggs in one basket for this one meeting. But I do think that, the global positioning on whether it be yen rates or global rates related to a YCC decision from the Bank of Japan at some point in the future has definitely been diluted by recent events that we've seen to do with the broader market, i.e. the banking crises that you've seen continuing to ripple through the US economy, as well as, events that followed.